We're flying. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I am talking about fear of flying. As always, like, share, subscribe. Okay, so I am about to go on a trip where I am flying, and I always knew I had a lot of phobias, but this one really popped up as soon as I started booking my plane ticket, and I kind of had a freak out moment. Let's just remove it, let's get rid of it, and let's not have it be a problem anymore. We're going to start with being very specific. Now, I don't know what freaks you out about the fear of flying. Maybe you can get through security, maybe you can get your ticket, you're fine, and then you have this freak out like as you're boarding the plane. Just start with wherever you freak out. So where do I start? I start with the drop-off point. So I think of being where my husband and my kids have dropped me off and I'm standing there. Now, because I'm not there in actual physical form, but I'm thinking of it, then I can now think of all this stress that is happening. So if you wait to be at that specific moment, now the stress is really there, and now you actually do have to hurry and you're on this time limit. So I can stand there and I can think about all the things. What am I freaking out about right now? What is it? So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be late. I'm not going to have the right information. I forgot some form of something that I needed at home. So then I just pick one thing. I pick that feeling of I'm this, I'm that, and I can start to feel it. It's definitely in my chest. It's definitely closing up in my head, and this tightness and in my chest, and definitely my gut is just. So I take that feeling. And for me, sometimes I like the drain idea where you just wash it down the drain, like you pull the plug. And then other times, I like to think of kind of like a teapot, and you open it up and all the steam just goes, whoo, right? So that's sometimes a little easier. Now with this situation, for me, I like the steam pot a little bit better because I feel like when I get really stressed, it's all right up in my head. And it's almost like this fog just starts building and building and building, and it's like pressure, and it's like you can't even think. So it's almost like I visually think of pulling the little teapot thing off and all the steam just starts coming out. And I'm like, okay. So then I sit there and I can visually think of it coming out. The next thing that I do is I either thank it because it's been protecting me, and I forgive it. And usually I have to forgive myself and say, it's okay. It's all right that maybe I look like an idiot for this moment, but it's okay. I forgive it. Thank you for helping me. This is where I start to remove stuff as the steam is coming out of my head and out of my body. So that brings us to putting a positive in. So now that we have thanked it and we've forgiven it, we are going to be positive about this. So the opposite right now is I'm going to forget my information. I'm going to do this. Well, logically speaking, I can make a list of things that I need to do. I have gone over about 15 times about all the things that I need to do. So logically speaking, it's not like I left things to the last minute. I actually am prepared. So I can tell myself that. I have my passport. I have my driver's license. I have my ticket. I have this. Logically, I am prepared. It is going to be okay. I have done everything I need to do to get ready. Okay, well, maybe I forget something and I have to buy it. And that brings up an anxiety. So then I say, okay, what is the worst thing that would happen if I have to buy it? Well, in my head, I'm going, well, that's more money, and that's money taken away from my trip. Okay, I have the money. We're okay. I am in control of this situation. And so I start to go through all the things that could possibly go wrong. And instead of keeping them bottled up inside, I let them go. And I think of all the ways that it's going to be okay. So sometimes this may take a little bit longer. Sometimes you may be able to get rid of it very, very quickly. It just depends. But as you're removing this, the thing that I like to think about is maybe it is taking a little bit of time, but I'd rather deal with it in the comfort of my own home, in a soft chair, or in my bed or I'm by myself, rather than going to the airport and having a freak out and be constantly stressed. So just to recap, is what we're going to do is we're going to be very specific. Now there may be a lot coming in at you, but that's okay. Just kind of pick one thing at a time. The second thing is you're going to put something physical, like releasing the teapot or letting it go down the drain. Whatever works for you. There's no wrong way to do this. The third thing is you're going to thank it, you're going to forgive it. You don't always have to do that, but sometimes it really helps. The fourth thing you're going to do is you're going to put a positive into it. And the last thing is repeat. Repeat this as much as needed. If you find yourself on the plane and you're freaking out, where are you going? Remove it. Let it go. Just write these steps down so you have them somewhere and you know exactly what to do. So I trust this information was helpful, and until next time, bye.